A common debate in the fitness community is what routine is best for building muscle. The truth is, there is no one workout split that will work best for everyone. But based on the scientific literature, there are a few key principles your training programs should consider. One of them is the need for increased training frequency. Training a muscle group multiple times per week is generally more effective than training a muscle group just once per week. This was shown in a 2016 meta-analysis led by Dr. Schoenfeld, in which they compiled the data from 10 resistance training studies. The researchers eventually found that training each muscle group 2 to 3 times per week is more effective for muscle growth than training a muscle group just once every week. One of the ways you can program your workouts to train each muscle group 2 to 3 times per week is full body training. In this video, I will share a complete 3-day full body routine with you that can be a great starting point for beginner to intermediate trainees and those who can only afford to spend 3 days per week in the gym. Without any further ado, let's get into the specifics of the program. So on this 3-day full body routine, each day has a slightly different focus. Day 1 is more push oriented with 2 specific push exercises. Day 2 is more pull oriented with 2 specific back exercises. And day 3 is focused more on the legs with 2 compound leg exercises that are prioritized by doing them at the start of the workout. But as you can see, all of the workouts still train your entire body. If you visit the link in the description, you can get a PDF with the complete routine. This includes a breakdown of the science behind the rep ranges used and rest between sets, so go check that out. This video will continue with a breakdown of day 1 of the full body routine. The first exercise is the flat barbell bench press in a moderate rep range of 8 to 10 reps. The bench press is a staple horizontal push exercise. It's great for training your chest, triceps and front deltoids. In terms of form, there are a few things you want to keep in mind. First of all, make sure your shoulder blades are pinched back and down when you perform the bench press. This will put your shoulder in a more stable position to press. Also, tuck your elbows in to prevent your shoulders from taking on too much stress during the bench press. When you grip the bar for your liftoff, be mindful of hand placement. You want the bar to rest low in your hands and close to your wrists. This will keep your wrists safe by preventing them from bending backward. Lastly, during the bench press we want to have several points of contact. The back of your head, your shoulder blades and glutes should touch the bench, and your feet should be planted firmly on the ground. The second exercise is a pull-up or lat pull-down that trains your back and biceps, also trained in an 8 to 10 rep range. The reason there are 2 options here is that some people may not be able to do a pull-up just yet. If you can't do pull-ups, start with lat pull-downs. If you can do pull-ups for 10 plus reps per set, you could even try doing weighted pull-ups to keep making progress. The pull-up and lat pull-down are similar movements, so you can expect similar results from them. Muscle activation research also indicates that these 2 exercises train your back and bicep muscles similarly well. In terms of grip, I like to use an overhand grip that's around 1.5 times shoulder width. A common mistake I see during pull-ups or lat pull-down is the use of momentum. The goal we have is to train muscle, not necessarily maximize external load. So oftentimes it's a good idea to lower the weight and prioritize your form. This applies to all the exercises we will be discussing today. For the third exercise of the day, we have the overhead press trained in an 8 to 10 rep range. The overhead press is a vertical push exercise that focuses on training your shoulder muscles. Even though it trains all shoulder muscles, the overhead press is more focused on training the front deltoids because it emphasizes shoulder flexion. In terms of execution, first it's critical here that you squeeze your glutes and engage your abdominal muscles to prevent rounding at the low back. Especially since we got back squats coming up after this exercise, you don't want to excessively stress your low back. When you grip the bar, make sure your lower arms are perpendicular to the floor, while keeping your wrists as straight as possible. From there on, press up in a straight line. If you struggle with balancing yourself on this exercise, you're likely pressing the bar forward or backward, so be mindful of that. The next exercise is a true lower body mass builder, the barbell back squat. If someone can squat with good form without experiencing discomfort, it's hard to argue against the use of heavy barbell squats. On this exercise, we use the 6 to 8 rep range because squats are generally more suited towards lower rep ranges. 2 common issues people have during squats is that they tend to fall forward while squatting and their knees track inward. When it comes to falling forward, a cue that can help here is focusing on keeping the barbell over your midfoot and keeping a straight bar path. This prevents you from losing your balance. To prevent your knees from caving in, think about actively spreading the floor while you squat. Creating outward tension with your feet will keep your knees out. But be sure you still maintain a tripod feet position while spreading the floor to squat up from a stable base. So now we reach the state of the workout in which we focus on isolation exercises to train some specific muscle groups. The rep range on all of these isolation exercises is 10 to 12 reps. The first isolation exercise is the hamstring curl. Squats tend to be pretty quad dominant, so we want the hamstring exercise to promote balanced lower body development. The hamstrings can also be trained with a deadlift variation, but I've decided to leave that for what it is in this full body workout. In this training session, we already had the overhead press and back squat. So to prevent excessive low back fatigue, deadlifts aren't included in this workout. But if you follow the complete routine, you can see that full body day 2 and 3 include some deadlift variations. The sixth exercise is seated bicep curls. The reason I like doing bicep curls seated is that it prevents the use of momentum. During the bicep curl, I also like to include wrist supination to target the biceps even more. Supinating the wrist is one of the main functions of the bicep. There's no tricep exercise in this full body day, but in full body day 2, we'll include a tricep exercise. The last exercise is the side delt raise. As mentioned previously, even though the overhead press trains your shoulders, it's mostly focused on the front deltoids. To train your side delts, we want to include a vertical shoulder abduction exercise. The cable side delt raise is effective for training this movement. I prefer this exercise over dumbbell side delt raises because of its resistance curve. Throughout the entire range of motion, there is resistance placed on the side delts. This is an exercise in which you want to focus a lot more on form and not how much weight you use. And that finishes off full body day 1 of the 3-day iWannaBurnFat full body routine.
Alright, so I hope you enjoyed my first YouTube video on full body training. I'm planning on sharing a lot more evidence-based information on this YouTube channel, so if you're interested, feel free to subscribe. You'll also help me achieve somewhat of a personal goal to get to 500 subscribers as quickly as possible, so any help would be truly appreciated. Now about the full body routine itself. As I said, the full body routine is something that's probably suited mostly towards beginner to early intermediate trainees and just those who prefer to train about 3 days per week. If that's you, then definitely check out the link in the description for a complete PDF with the full body routine. And that's it for now. I hope you enjoyed the video, like and subscribe, and I'll see you in the next one.